All right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me, but please do let me know with a thumbs up or a comment in the comments very quickly. Um, I'm gonna suggest that you take a really deep breath and just exhale, especially if you're struggling with your energy bills right now and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make things work because the numbers that Shell and BP, British Gas, have announced today are the profit numbers are huge. They are absolutely massive. And so I'm going to try and approach this from two angles. First, I'm going to look at it from an investor's point of view because we talk about investing here, conversation of money. That's really what it's all about. Educating people, empowering people. In fact, I made a video maybe 2 months, 3 months ago talking about some of the best companies to invest in during um, an inflationary or recessionary period, right? And an energy company was part of the recommendations within that video. We now get to this point where we have numbers coming out of British Gas and Shell, and the numbers are absolutely astronomical. So, first and foremost, let me put on my investor's hat first and start from there. And I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can actually see what the numbers are and see that I guess the difference between where we are today and where they were 12 months ago before these energy prices really started to kick in. So this is on Yahoo Finance. This is reporting British Gas specifically. We're going to start with British Gas. So British Gas, the energy company, posted a 1.3 billion pound profit in the first 6 months of the year. And this is up from 226 million during the same period in 2021. So think about that as an increase. It's a massive increase. So this time in 2021, their profits were 262 million pounds. Now it's 1.3 billion pounds. And this is only Q2. This is in the first 6 months of this year, whilst we have seen energy prices increase. Now that's British Gas. You think that's big? Wait till you see the Shell numbers, okay? So these are the Shell numbers. 11 billion pounds in profits. Now I've watched a video a little bit earlier on where the CEO of Shell is talking about, he was asked very directly how those kind of profits are justified in a cost of living crisis, right? And he was asked the question of what about taxation? There will be calls now for government to step in, tax energy companies even more. And he started talking about the fact that historic oil prices, so on and so forth, and the fact that Shell had done so much work for the business to be efficient enough to post profits like this. Now you can paint this stuff up as much as you want. I mean, every company is going to go through efficiencies, right? Every company is going to make sure that they cut fat and they are working to optimal efficiency. That shouldn't mean that you get any brownie points in my book for doing that because that's what you expected to. That increases your profits. But there is no denying that these companies are actually benefiting from the fact that there is a huge surge in prices right now, and they are profiting from that. 11 billion pounds is a lot of money. Now, as an investor, this is a good thing because if you're holding Shell shares right now, you're absolutely laughing. So this is one thing that they basically said. So they're going to be doing a share buyback of $6.5 billion. $6.5 billion share buybacks because they feel as though the share price for Shell specifically is undervalued right now. So they're going to put money back out there, put money back in the shareholders' pockets, get some of those shares back, which is what you would expect. And you can see this actually when well, let me just share this screen with you. When you look at the company today and you look at the sentiment around this. So look, bearing in mind this is the London Stock Exchange they're on here. So this is obviously shown in pence. So they're up marginally today. Not up a lot, but they're up marginally today. Okay, so 2,126 pence, right? The fair value for this at the moment is 3,268. Okay, so they're doing share buybacks because they know that the share price is actually undervalued right now. So if you have Shell shares right now, this is a really, really good thing. Massive, massive profits. It's going to be huge. British Gas are going to be doing another dividend payout. So, as investors, this is the kind of stuff that you actually want. But look at the sentiment. Look at the sentiment. I did this yesterday for Google and or Alphabet yesterday evening. Look at the sentiment for Shell right now on the London Stock Exchange. 100% bullish. So as investors, if you're holding this, look, this is a typical tale of, in times like this, the wealthy get wealthier because they have their money positioned in the right places. Meanwhile, if you don't know how to invest, you've never invested, or you don't naturally have the resources to invest right now, this is an instance where you're looking at the system and you're thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Like, how is this even right? And this is why I need to talk about this from a human level and take my investor's hat off and just think about this as a person. I know people struggling with their energy bills right now. I know people who are really, really struggling to make ends meet. This is even before the price rise arrives in October. I've shared this story on Instagram. I've shared this in my latest video. I have a therapist of mine who I work with who is looking at gas bills and electric bills of £383 per month. This is before the energy rises in October, which will probably be another £200 roughly. So now you're talking 500 quid just to keep the electric and the heating on in your home so you can actually cook food. Now, this is the main thing, and I'm all for capitalism, right? Capitalism is great. It's what got the Western society, Western economies to the level that it is right now. The ability to invest something, build something, and profit from it financially. But this is something else that I found the other day, and this is an old article, but it's quite poignant right now because of where we are. So this is an article from January. This is like January, 6 months old. France forced EDF to take an 8.4 billion euro hit with the energy bill cap. So EDF, I didn't even know this, is partly owned by the French government. And what they did in the year is they said, listen, we don't want energy prices going up to impact our citizens significantly. And they imposed a 4% cap increase on the energy prices. 4% cap increase. Meanwhile, here in the UK, energy prices went up 54%. So I guess the question then becomes, and this is why I said take a really deep breath at the beginning of this stream, right? This is where the question comes. We are likely going to see even further increases to the energy price cap. We know that there's one coming in October. The measures that have been announced by the government, which I've covered here on this channel, are meant to last between October, 6 months, running up to March 2023. If the war in Ukraine continues, and if I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but Gazprom cutting power supplies into Europe, I mean, countries like Germany are seriously looking at energy rationing in the winter. Is that going to come to us here in the UK? I don't know. I have no answers to any of this, guys, but it is a really important point to take a moment and actually ask the question. How can we justify companies making £11 billion in profits amidst a time like this when ordinary people are struggling to make ends meet? I mean, am I nuts? Am I crazy? Am I crazy for thinking this? Yes, I invest. Yes, it's a good thing as if you're an investor. My job here is to empower people to know how to invest. Not everybody is in the realm now where they're going to benefit from this kind of stuff. Yes, we can learn from this for the future, but in the now, how the fuck do we allow this to happen? How do we allow this to happen? And so even if you look at energy prices right now, the advice is to stick, not to switch, not to go on to any other tariff, because we don't know what's going to happen moving forward. What will happen moving forward, and I can guarantee you this, is Q3, Q4, 2022, Q1, 2023, we will see these energy companies continue to post huge profits like this. The question is, who's going to step in and what is going to happen to make sure that those people in society who cannot afford, who are struggling right now, who are going to get swept away into debt, payday loans, where actually, ironically, banks will continue to make more money, which further perpetuates this cycle of the rich getting richer if you've got your money allocated to certain sectors, industries, companies. If you've invested wisely, you'll do well. But for those people who are going to get left behind, what does the government do to interject, to intervene? Should the government intervene? There's a lot of talk saying that the government should not intervene. But how long can we allow this to go on? I don't have the answer to this. I would love to know what you think. But looking at these numbers today, you thought British Gas 1.3 billion was a lot of money. Then you look at Shell, 11 billion. It's fucking crazy. And that's how I'm going to end this, because I don't really know what else to suggest. I don't really have any tips that I can help or share with people, but I just wanted to share this because I think it's important for you to know. And more than anything else, if you are going to do something, I'm encouraging people actively to be proactive about their finances right now and think about things now. Winter is coming. Next energy price rise is going to be in October. We're going to be entering into winter months then. We're going to have to start making decisions around whether we heat our homes and how we heat our homes and what energy we actually use. Are we going to get to the point where we're going to be rationing? I have no idea. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments. That's the news around energy. Good for investors, but as a whole, is it good? I can't feel good about it, unfortunately. Anyway, guys,